Hello, this video is going to show you how to record sound in ePrime 2.0. So the first thing to do is to tell ePrime which hardware to look at for sound recording. So I'm going to open the experiment object properties here. I double-clicked on this, and I am going to the Devices tab. And here you can already see the hardware that you're going to be using in your experiment anyways. Keyboard, mouse, display, sound out, that sort of thing. And so now you're going to add two new things. The first one is this sound capture device right here. And what this does is tells ePrime to use the microphone that is set by default in Windows. However, the sound capture will only record sound. It won't actually do any time stamping of when the participant first started speaking. In order to do that, you need to add some extra hardware. In this case, I'm going to be using our serial response box because it has a voice key feature. I'll go into that in just a minute. But for now, I want to add the SR box as a device as well. And so I have for you here a very basic task. A participant is going to be shown a fixation and then followed by a word. We're asking them to just speak the word that's shown. So to modify this, I'm going to open this stimulus slide, and you can see that it already has this slide text object that is going to be showing you the text that's going to be shown. Now to add the recording functionality, I'm going to add this slide sound in sub-object here. So I click on that, and I can put it anywhere I want in the slide. It doesn't matter where. And this icon appears here in eStudio to let you know that the recording functionality is set up. However, at runtime it won't actually display. So let me look at some of the sub-object properties here. I'm clicking this button, and you can see you can rename it from sound in 1 to whatever you like. But there's a couple things I want to focus in on here. One is this capture file name field. And every time that this object runs, you would want each resulting sound file to have a unique name. And so that's what this @auto feature does. When @auto is in play, the resulting sound file is going to have the following format: experiment name, session number, subject number, object name, instance that it ran, format. So each time you get a different number on the end there, and then all of your sound files are easy to keep together for analysis later. And all sound recording is done in WAV format, so all your files will be WAV files. I also want to bring your attention to this buffer size here. This is the length of time that you can allow to record vocalizations in ePrime. And in ePrime 2.0 standard, the upper limit on this is 10 seconds, and in ePrime 2.0 professional, the upper limit is 60 seconds. But for now, I'm just going to keep it at 5 seconds because that is the default, because my duration is 5 seconds right now. So now that I have the recording enabled for this object, and I know that that sound file is going to be recording for the entire 5 seconds, no matter what happens within that. All of the sound files are going to be 5 seconds long. I also want to collect when that participant first started speaking. And for that, I'm going to add the SR box input mask. In this case, I'm going to change the allowable setting because if you've ever seen an SR box, it's a button box that has 5 physical buttons on it that participants can press. However, it also has a microphone input on the back. And whenever the participant speaks, the microphone will detect when that change in sound happened, and then it will act as if a key had been pressed. So you can think of it as the 6th key of the SR box. And ePrime thinks of it that way as well. So for allowable, instead of any, I'm going to make this 6 to just allow those vocalization responses. And also, because I am collecting the recording and the reaction time on the same slide, I'm going to change the SR box's input mask end action to none. That way, whenever this reaction time is recorded, it won't actually stop the object and it won't prevent the rest of what is being spoken from being recorded. So I'm going to hit OK here, and that's it to get everything set up. I should also add that I'm actually using a 2-microphone setup here. That's because this sound capture device is going to be looking at your computer's sound card for the microphone input. So you can think of that as one microphone. And also the SR box is looking at its microphone input because it has a microphone that goes into the back of it. That's the second microphone. However, if you only have one microphone, you could get a splitter so that you plug the microphone into that splitter and then it splits off so that you can then attach it to both the sound card and the SR box. However, our tests have shown that can diminish sound quality, so we really recommend that you just use 2 microphones. I'm going to run this experiment here, and I'm going to respond incorrectly to the third trial so I can show you a little bit later how the data analysis will work with that. Now that the data is collected on this experiment, I'm going to show you quickly how you can analyze it using eDataAid. So I've opened the data file here, and now I want to look at just some of the columns that are relevant here. So I'm going to arrange columns, and I would like to see the stimulus that was shown, and also just like to check out the reaction time that the SR box collected, and the file name so that I know what to look at to score it. And then finally, I'm going to add the accuracy as well, because I'm going to overwrite that with my own score since ePrime didn't automatically do that scoring at runtime. So now that everything's here, all you need to do is listen to a particular file name, such as this one, by clicking in the box to highlight it, and then clicking this play button right here to play the sound through eDataAid, such as this.
Apple.
And I heard that I said apple. I saw that the stimulus was apple, so I know that this is accurate, so I'm going to change that to be 1. It's okay that it's red. That's eDataAid's way of letting you know that a change had been made. So I know that I was accurate on the second trial as well. And I'll listen to that third trial.
Apple.
I answered apple, but the correct stimulus was canary, so I'll keep that as incorrect. And I know I answered that last one correctly as well. So that's it. I now save my data file, and the accuracy is very quickly scored.